Today we're going to be making chicken pot pie in the air fryer. This is how it should look. Golden brown, delicious. You should be able to break right through that crust and have just the most amazing chicken pot pie gravy. Welcome back to another episode of Annie's Smoking Pot. Let's get cooking. We're going to start with our chicken. Just some chicken thighs. I like chicken thighs because they're juicier, they're tender, they're more moist after you cook them. Breasts tend to dry out. Nobody likes a dry breast. Nobody. Let's get our chicken thighs seasoned up and ready to go. As always, got my gloves on. I've got some thyme and some sage. We're just going to sprinkle that on top of our chicken. Just going to kind of smoosh it on in there. We've also got some smoky paprika. Paprika. And some simple black pepper and kosher salt. I like the kosher salt because it's more of a stone, or not stone ground, but it's more coarse. There we go. It's more coarse. Adds more flavor, I think. It's amazing.
And it's kosher.
Kosher. And I want to cook at about a medium-high heat. I'm going to add a little bit of just standard oil, not olive oil or anything like that, just a basic neutral oil. We're going to pour that on in there. And we're also going to add a little cube of butter. Boop, like that. Oh, that's looking great. Oh, sticky butter. All right. Now, because I seasoned this side, I'm going to put the seasoned side down. And these are boneless and skinless, by the way. You could do skin on if you want to. I just prefer the skin off. I think it's healthier, and I don't know why. I just like it better. Can you hear that sizzle? I'm just dicing this into some nice bite-sized pieces. You don't want big chunks of onion in your pot pie because it can be a little overpowering. Did I say overpower? You don't want big chunks of onion in your pot pie because it can overpower the flavor of the chicken and the other ingredients that you're going to add. I'm going to let that chicken cook down. Then I'm going to add this in with my other ingredients, which are peas and carrots. Just canned peas and carrots because, again, it's quick, it's simple, it's easy. This recipe is store-bought pie crust because I am not a baker. I do not claim to be a baker. I am not going to attempt to make pie crust. Ooh, do you see all that smoke? Annie's Smoking Pot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn this down now a little bit now that it's starting to smoke because I want those to cook, but I don't want them to cook completely. I'm going to take them to about 98% of the way done because we're going to finish this pot pie off in my air fryer, and they're going to residually cook a little bit more in there as well. But those are coming along beautifully. So let's keep going. So we got our peas and our carrots, our garlic, our onion. We've got some more seasonings here. We've got some parsley, sage. We've got some chicken stock to make our gravy. We've also got a little bit of milk to give it a little bit more of a creaminess. And then we've got some cornstarch and a little bit reserved chicken stock to make our slurry to thicken our gravy. And the last key ingredient, sour cream. It is going to take it to a whole nother level. All right, that chicken's been going for about 4 minutes, so I'm just going to take a peek at it. Oh, look at that. That is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and flip those over. Oh, that is absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm going to let this go for about another 3 minutes on this side now, and then we're going to move on to our gravy, and we're going to lose our glove. Oh, I love chicken pot pie. Especially right now. It's December. I live in Washington State. It's a cold, dreary day. What do you do on a cold, dreary day? You crave comfort food or you freeze. Chicken pot pie to me is like the existential to comfort food. It's rich, it's creamy, it's just overall delicious in a pot. I think we are just about ready to pull those out of the pan and get our gravy, if you will. See, I can see that one because it's open. So as you can see, we still got a little bit of residual pink in there. We want to go ahead and just let that keep going just a little bit longer. So while that is going, remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the video. I am known as a food pusher. Anybody comes to my house, my first question is, hey, how are ya? My second question is, what can I feed ya? You make connections through food. That's my motto. That's how I feel. This looks absolutely perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and get this chicken pulled off. I'm gonna turn the heat off first so my pan can cool down just a little bit. I'm gonna pull the chicken off, and then we're gonna get started on the gravy and the filling. Got that chicken pulled out of the pan. Now we're gonna get started on our sauce. First thing we wanna do is we wanna get these little niblets off the bottom. Best way is with liquid. Niblet, chunkies, crispies, I don't know what they're called. The goodness in the bottom of the pan is what it is. So I am gonna go ahead and add my onions now, just so those can brown up just a little bit in those niblets. Giblets, niblets, gooblets. I just want to get some of that juicy goodness into that onion. All right. We are now going to add our garlic. And this is just about, probably about a tablespoon of garlic paste. And you know how garlic works. You want to cook it till you can smell it. Then that's it. Then get the liquid in because it'll start to burn otherwise. We've got some chicken stock. We're just going to dump that right on in there. Oh, see? Look at that. Can you see that? We got those niblets off the bottom. Let me see if I can show you what we're looking for. See that clean bottom there? That's what you're going for. Now to this, I'm going to add my sage and thyme. Sage, thyme, and parsley. Couldn't remember what else I had in there. That is going to add a whole nother level of umami. That's a fancy word for tasty. Now we are also going to add our milk. That's going to add a little bit of extra creaminess. We're going to do that's probably about a half a cup. It's going to start to boil. I want to get my slurry together. That's what's going to thicken this. A little cornstarch and a little of that reserved chicken stock. When you're making the slurry, you can use water if you would like, but why? Water has no flavor. It is the blandest substance on the face of the earth. Use stock. Not trying to tell you what to do. Use water if you'd like, but stock is so much better. Hey, look at that. I just bought this. Can you tell? Forgot the sticker. Now that that is boiling, I am going to go ahead and just turn it down a little bit to about a medium heat. And I'm going to add in my slurry. Just going to add a little bit there to this. You know that it's coming along nicely, but I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of this. Oh boy, howdy. Because now I need to get my chicken cut up and put in here. And I'm also going to add the peas and the carrots. And my cameraman, or my editor, is yelling at me. I can't see what you're doing. My cameraman, my editor, my husband, so now I'm switching hands. And we are dumping that in there. Look at that. While those are simmering in that broth, I'm going to go ahead and get my chicken chopped up. You just want to cut your chicken into just nice bite-sized pieces. You know, you don't want somebody to take a bite of their chicken pot pie and end up with a piece like this. Nobody wants that. You want just bite-sized pieces all throughout. Oh, you know, I gotta do it. Oh my gosh. Yep. Perfect. You know what? Forget the pot pie. I'm just eating chicken. That is so tender juicy. Now that I've got that all cut up and see that little bit of residuals on there? See that? We're just gonna dump it in there. And we're gonna return the chicken to the gravy. Oh, that's thickening up beautifully. The chicken's also going to help it thicken up a little bit more because the chicken is going to absorb some more of those juices. See, and I'm doing it again, aren't I?
That's okay. You're a lefty.
I'm a lefty. I should have said that. I'm only making one crust pie. I'm just putting the crust on the top. I am going to perfect a 2-crust pie that you can, you know, invert onto your plate like when you buy those frozen ones at the supermarket. I'm going to perfect it. And we'll film another episode, but tonight, just doing a 1-crust top. Now that I've got this done, I'm gonna turn it off, add that sour cream that we talked about earlier, just to add another level of richness. Stir that on in there. Oh, this is what you want. Look at that. It just pulls away from the bottom. That is a rich, thick gravy. While I'm gonna let this cool down just a little bit, we'll get our crust ready to go into the air fryer. So we're gonna go 370 for about 8 to 10 minutes. Since the filling is all pre-cooked, it's all done, all we're going for is a crispy, crunchy pie crust on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it for 12 minutes, but I'll look at it periodically as we cook. We're gonna take it down to 370. While that's heating up, let's get our pie crust cut and ready to go. Guy said, I just bought store-bought pie crust. Don't look at the brain, not a sponsor. Because I'm trying to make it easier for everybody involved. This is the pan that I am using. It goes into my air fryer beautifully. It's got a fun little handle. The handle comes off. Then we can use my jaws of life to get it out. You'll see what I'm talking about. I am going to go a little bit outside the diameter so that it wraps over the pan just a little bit. Look at that! We've got our upper crust. Now that we've got that ready to go, let's go ahead and add the filling to the pan. We're just gonna dump that right on in there and try not to make a mess. Eek, eek. What did I say about not making a mess? Whoops. We're gonna take our upper crust and we are just going to, I think we're just gonna kind of place it down on in there like that, and then just kind of pinch it around the outer edges. You wanna make sure and give it vent holes, otherwise, oh, I don't even wanna know what's gonna happen. So we're just gonna put a little X right here in the center. Oh, that's right, and our fun little fancy pieces. Nope, not an artist, not at all. Nope. We have one more step, egg and water. This is what's going to give that crust its wonderful golden hue. And then we're just going to brush it on top of that crust. Want to make sure that you get a good amount on there. You want to cover all areas of that crust. Now, let's get cooking. In it goes. The exact time that this took to cook, boop, look it, right there. Look up, right there, right there. Do you see it? We're done. It's beeping. Yep. Take a look. Oh, I'm excited. Oh. Oh, look at that. Let me take that out of there so you can get a better view. These are my jaws of life. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. That's incredible. Can you hear that here? We're gonna let this sit for just a couple of few minutes, then we're gonna dig into that bad boy and we're gonna show you what it looks like. Oh my goodness. All right, I gotta try it. What do you think? Look at that. Just happen to have a fork ready. I'm going in. Oh, it's hot. Okay. I don't even know what to say. It is so juicy and tender. So much flavor. You've got to make this. You have to. Oh my gosh. That is hands down delicious. Seriously. Go to your kitchen right now and make this. Quick, simple, easy. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you next time. Bye! God dang it, it's so good!